Hello and welcome to this week's Ruby Shoes podcast, delivering the very best local entertainment news across East Anglia each and every week. This week on the Ruby Shoes podcast, we talk to hugely popular comic Omid Djalili, who will be performing in Ipswich later this week. Plus, we've been chatting with local dram group, the Lowestoft Players, who are about to perform their panto. Plus, as always, a roundup of some of the region's top shows coming your way soon, which you won't want to miss. Now, don't be fooled into thinking that panto season has finished. Oh no, the Lowestoft Players are poised and ready to bring you their own take on the classic tale of Goldilocks and the Three Bears at the Marina Theatre in Lowestoft. The multi-award-winning Lowestoft Players make a welcome return to the Marina Theatre with their 56th annual pantomime. Their latest production of Goldilocks and the Three Bears promises to deliver a spectacular and magical extravaganza for the whole family. It's running from Saturday the 18th through to Sunday the 26th of January, and it's all taking place at the Marina Theatre in Lowestoft. And here to tell us more is Faye Bishop from the Lowestoft Players. Faye, welcome to the Ruby Shoes podcast.
Hello.
Hello, lovely to be talking to you. Tell me first of all, Faye, what's your involvement and how long have you been part of the Lowestoft Players?
So my involvement with Goldilocks and the Three Bears is I am co-director. The other co-director is Andrew Groom. And I've been involved with the Lowestoft Players since 2016. So 9 years, which is crazy because it doesn't feel that long. But yeah, 9 years I've been involved. I started just on sort of tech crew, on follow spot, and then now obviously I've worked my way up to co-director. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well done, you. And 9 years actually isn't that long because there's a lot of different roles involved backstage and in front of the audience with a pantomime and any stage production. So to be co-directing after just 9 years, that's fantastic. Is this your first co-directorship?
So it is with the Lowestoft Players. However, I have co-directed before earlier in the year with B&B Young People's Theatre Group. We did School of Rock, which was very, very exciting. And we sold out, which was really, really cool. And before that, last year, I was director of Matilda with the same group as well. So I've had quite a lot of experience with sort of youth productions, but directing adults is a whole new ballgame.
I can't think of anything worse. Herding cats springs to mind. And that's probably being very rude about your particular cast. And I don't mean them directly, but I just think, everybody's got their own ideas and, I think I should do it this way. And, oh, my goodness.
But yeah, absolutely. And that's actually what's worked really well for this. So Goldilocks is kind of like it's a brand new title for the Lowestoft Players. So there's no kind of preconception of what it should look like or who should play what or what we should be doing. So actually, it's been really nice to sit in a room and be like, what do you guys think you should do in this? If you've got any ideas, spring it to us because, 16 brains or however many brains are in that room work so much better than just one or two brains, So everyone has a creative input and it's been really, really, really successful so far.
That's a really refreshing way of looking at it as well. So well done. I think you're going to do brilliant work there, Faye. So Goldilocks and Three Bears, most people would know the story, but I'm guessing you're giving it a modern twist. So tell us a bit more.
Absolutely. So kind of when you think of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, it's kind of, that 30 seconds of too hot, too cold, just right, that sort of thing. And that is in there. So audiences won't be disappointed. But obviously there's a lot more plot to it. So basically, Betty Big Top, her circus has come to Lowestoft. So there's quite a big circus theme within the show. They've come to Lowestoft and they are on the lookout for a brand new act. And it just so happens that the Three Bears can sing, dance, and act, and they live in the woods. They find a honeypot and they steal it, and then the good circus, which is Betty Big Top Circus, have to go and find this honeypot with all their circus takings in it. And that's obviously how they stumble across the Three Bears. Obviously, then there's the whole bad character. So we've got Baron von Whiplash, and he is on the lookout for the bears because he wants to steal them for his bad circus. So he cages up animals and treats them really harshly. So obviously, the aim of the game is to get the Three Bears to the good circus.
Oh, wow. It sounds absolutely brilliant and a lot of fun as well. Especially costumes, I would imagine, are quite tricky. You must have a great group of volunteers there organising costumes.
Wow. So yeah, it just so happens actually we had our costume our costume night last night. So, we've gone in with this brand new show that we've never done before. So, with a Cinderella or anything like that, we can be like, oh, so last time we had this set of costumes and this set of costumes, and then, we kind of work on that basis. But with Goldilocks, we've not done it before, so it's completely brand new. Obviously, when we do a musical, that's brand new too. But with pantomime, at least with a musical, you've got a script and you've got something on paper and you've got the internet and you've got everything to kind of look at. Whereas with Goldilocks, we literally started with a blank piece of A4 paper. So to then kind of think of everything, our costume team are just brilliant. We are so, so, so fortunate in that respect to have such a talented and fantastic team of costume ladies. We've gone in with these ideas and said, oh, for this bit, we'd like this. And they've gone, what do you mean? So then we've kind of said, well, just make it colourful or just make it red and blue or something like that. And then last night they just completely, absolutely smashed what we wanted. Everything was absolutely perfect. And, there's a lot of colour, there's a lot of circus themes. It's going to be, last night has made me so excited. It's going to be absolutely brilliant.
So, Faye, you've told me you're co-director and you've talked about the other director. There must be a whole big production team behind this. Talk to me a bit about them.
Yes, so obviously there's me and Andrew as co-director, and then as assistant director we've got Ryan Tackman. He has sort of he's written the script, and he's also been around at every rehearsal, and just helped us. If we could have three co-directors, we would. So that's Ryan, and then our musical director is Carl Simmons. He's a fantastic musical director. He's done some fantastic arrangements for us. And so I'm really excited for the audience to hear what he's created. And then we've also got Caroline Warren, who's our production assistant. So she kind of does all the paperwork side of stuff, and she's also lead chaperone. So she looks after sort of the children's cast as well.
Fantastic. So they're all pulling together to make this brilliant production.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's just the core team. That's just the sort of advertised creative team. But then obviously you've got props and you've got costume and you've got tech and you've got the committee and you've got everybody else involved. So it really, really is a team effort.
I'm sure it is. And, it's down to everybody's hard work, and it is a team you've got to all pull together. Because it's got a circus theme, anybody in the cast particularly good at, any particular circus skills? Are they going to appear in the show at all?
Oh, well, so in the audition process, we said, if you have a skill, please bring it. And it's actually surprising the amount of people that in everyday life that do have a secret skill. And you're like, wow, I've never even thought you'd be able to do that. So we do have some juggling. We do have some, some flips and tricks and stuff like that. We do have a lot of we have some magic as well. There is sort of one big magic part in it as well. So that's, we've kind of worked to the abilities we have, which is more than we could have ever thought we would, which is amazing. There is no big high tightrope walking or trapeze artist or anything that's remotely dangerous, but we have got some really, really cool bits in that you wouldn't necessarily see in a normal pantomime.
It sounds very cool indeed. 3 shows rolled into one. Look, you've got magic, you've got circus, and you've got pantomime, and it's all for all ages, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm sure you don't need reminding, but you're 10 days away from opening, which sounds terrifying for me. How are the rehearsals going?
Actually, now you've said it, that is a little bit scary, but I'm actually not worried at all. Rehearsals have gone absolutely brilliantly. The cast have been incredible. As I say, they've worked really, really well with us as a creative team, and we've all had a creative input, which has been really good. Rehearsals have been great. Our choreographer, Keris Roscoe, she has absolutely smashed this as well. She, her choreography is just so unique. and we are very, very lucky to have her at the Players. So yeah, what she's done with the company has been incredible. Our principals have been working really, really hard, and we actually had a full run on Sunday just gone, which actually got a very, very good response. We had quite a lot of our crew and everyone involved come to watch it, just so they can refresh themselves and, remind themselves of what's going on. So then when we come to tech and dress, they're already prepared, and they all loved it. We had very, very good feedback from everyone that was in that room, and they said it's so refreshing and so new, and they absolutely loved it. So rehearsals have gone very, very, very well.
Okay, well, Faye, everyone after hearing this is going to want to come and see it. I'm hoping there's some tickets left and that you're going to tell me how we can get hold of those.
Yes, so there are some tickets left. You can head to the Marina Theatre website, and they are, it just says Goldilocks. Just click on that, and it will take you straight there. I think there's 9 performances, so you can click on one of those, and there's seats left. So make sure you grab them quickly, because I feel like after our opening weekend, that's normally when they all go, when word of mouth starts getting around.
Definitely. Faye, I think you've got a career heading for directorship. You sound so confident and so kind of in control of everything that's happening. I'm really, really impressed. Please send our best wishes to the rest of the cast. Tell them to break a leg from us here at the Ruby Shoes podcast. And all the best with the run of Goldilocks and 3 Bears.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Now, this morning I was up bright and early driving into Ipswich town centre to catch a word with much-loved comedian Omid Djalili ahead of his performance at the end of this week at the Ipswich Regent Theatre. I began by asking him, as a recently new resident to Suffolk, what he thinks of our county.
Well, first of all, 4 years ago, my family realised that during the pandemic, I used to do these jokes that I'd say, "Oh dear, the sound of my career," and I'd flush the toilet. And that sound would go out to friends and family. And then they said, "You really are, we got to move." And I said, "I will move anywhere you guys want to move. I'll go anywhere as long as it's not East Anglia." They goes, "We're thinking Suffolk." I said, "Well, as long as it's not Ipswich, because they hate me there." He goes, "We found a place already just behind the Ipswich region." I said, "That is the one coordinate in the whole world I did not want to move to." But having moved here, I have to say, I haven't left. And it was really interesting when I did Griff Rhys-Jones's Christmas show here today. I said, "I've been here for 4 years and I haven't left." And half the crowd clapped and one person just shouted, "Why? Why haven't you left?" And I said, "Because I love it here, and it's one of the most underrated parts of the country. When you get here, the places are great. When you look at the marina, you feel like you're on some kind of Italian Riviera. You feel like you're on some kind of Italian Riviera. Can I pick that up here?
Riviera.
Riviera, yeah.
Try again.
When you're in Ipswich and you see the marina, it feels like some kind of Italian Riviera.
Yay!
Do you know what? Put the whole thing out.
Let's do it.
You can't be bothered to edit this.
No.
But and you've got all the restaurants you want, and it's not that far from London as well. I always thought it was so far. I think it was the trip to Norwich from London always killed me, because you got the little A road that goes up, and it used to just
A140.
I can't stand that road. Everyone, and every time and the thing is, they really like me there. And so my manager says, "I got you booked in another couple of nights in Norwich." I says, "I want to go to Norwich." Why do I want to go to Norwich? It's an awful place to go. And I kind of lumped everything, and Ipswich is not that far, so Ipswich is all right, but Norwich was the place I didn't like going. But having been here, I've really loved it. So my favourite thing that's happened so far was I hosted a kind of, can Ipswich be the first Suffolk city? And it was a bit like kind of question time when I was Fiona Bruce, and it was at the Hold at the University of Suffolk.
Shorter with less hair.
Yes, I'm shorter with less hair. Yeah, she's way taller than me, and she's so thin.
She's gigantic, isn't she?
She's gigantic, and she's so thin. She walks into a snooker hall, they start chalking her head. That's how thin she is. But I'll tell you this. It was amazing because everybody was for it. And at the very end, someone said, "I don't know why we're thinking we're going to have this could be a city. If you walk around the streets in the centre of town, all the shops are closed down, windows are broken, there's fights every Saturday. I don't know what we're thinking." And I just said, "And on that bombshell, we will close that we are not ready for it. And everyone give it a round of applause. So there is a kind of ironic sense that I know that Ipswich, the residents joke about it being a butt of jokes, but those of us who live here know it's a great place to live. And because of that, we kind of keep it a secret. We kind of keep it quiet. We don't want too many people coming here.
No.
We don't. I know it's the city of sanctuary, and I know there are a lot of asylum seekers here, and it's great and it's wonderful, and I love that about Ipswich. It's genuinely multicultural, but at the same time, it is kind of Britain's little secret.
We need you to come to the Multicultural Festival.
I have been there, and I love it, and it's a fantastic thing. And that's the one thing. I joke about it that the butter market's my favourite place. But, I've still not been able to buy any butter there. I don't know why they don't sell it. That's the only one thing that I think is a bit disappointing. But anyway, I could go on about Ipswich all day, but I've got jokes about it, which I'll do on Friday.
I'll leave you to do them on Friday. Let's talk about the tour. You're going to be here Friday night. We're very excited to see you. That's Friday the 17th.
Yes.
What are the audience going to expect from you?
Well, first of all, a fantastic warm-up act. Boothby Grafo is a real comedian's comedian. He's someone who has been around for years. He's a musical comedian, and his if I'm in a bad mood, he'll go on first, and I will get in the mood after watching him. I've never seen him have a bad gig, and he's been absolutely brilliant. So first of all, there's him for about 30 minutes, then there's a break, and I'll come out and I'll do about 75 minutes of the stuff that's going on currently, and it's about perspective. I'm trying to give people a different view on things, and not everything we see in the media is I wouldn't say it's true, but it's been tailored by a particular news outlet, and it's trying to wade through all that nonsense, try and find the truth and put a kind of spin on it, which I think is humane and which is something that will be of value to the audience. I've had lots of jokes I've cut which were just silly, and I'll put in some silliness because I think it's important, but it's not all going to be serious, but there will be some serious moments, and that people have come away thinking, wow, I didn't see things like that. So that's what you can expect.
To see Omid Djalili perform at the Ipswich Regent Theatre later this week, that's Friday the 17th of January, go to ipswichtheatres.co.uk and you can read the full interview I did with him in the March issue of Norfolk Life magazine. Here are even more great shows you just might want to check out.
What's on across Suffolk with Stephanie McIntyre. Sponsored by Ruby Shoes Podcast, your weekly entertainment news podcast. Available from your smart speaker, Apple, Spotify, or you just follow Ruby Shoes Podcast on Facebook and click on the weekly podcast link to listen.
There's a host of great shows on offer across Suffolk's magnificent theatres, and here's just a selection to tempt you. Thursday the 23rd of January from 7:30pm at the Apex Theatre in Bury St Edmunds, they host Lawrence Jones, a multi-award-winning British guitarist, vocalist and songwriter who's been hailed as the future of the blues by Classic Rock magazine. His latest album, Bad Luck and the Blues, topped the official jazz and blues charts in the UK. With an impressive collection of awards and a place in the British Blues Hall of Fame, Jones is widely regarded as one of the UK's greatest guitarists. Music critics have constantly praised his skills, with Music Radar voting him among the world's top 10 blues rock guitarists. Lawrence Jones has shared the stage with legendary musicians such as Sir Van Morrison, Ringo Starr, Buddy Guy, Jeff Beck and Status Quo, demonstrating his talent and earning the respect of industry icons. His performances have been met with widespread acclaim, earning him a dedicated fan base of over 50 million album sales. Known for his energetic live shows, Jones has performed at prestigious venues around the world too, including the Royal Albert Hall in London and New York's Carnegie Hall. Check him out for yourself and go to theapex.co.uk. Friday the 24th of January at the New Wolsey Theatre in Ipswich. Back from the dead following a failure to file his living will, please welcome Lord of Misrule Tony Slattery, of course well known for Kingdom, The Crying Game and Coronation Street. For this rare discussion show with his good friend Erica Lear, as they chart the highs and lows of his life and career, including his time as a stalwart on Whose Line Is It Anyway, and how he nimbly dodged the global superstardom that claims so many of his colleagues. Includes an unusual opportunity for you to ask your own questions of Tony. Then Tony, together with his improv accomplice James Payton, who was from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix and Captain America, the First Avenger and the Glass Onion, and their troupe of friends will turn your brilliant suggestions into unforgettable, never to be repeated improvised comedy. Or at least that's the plan. Go to wolseytheatre.co.uk to get your tickets. Sex Bomb, the music of Sir Tom Jones, comes to the Spa Pavilion Theatre on Saturday the 25th of January from 7:30pm. For one night only, join them for an explosive celebration of one of the most powerful men in the pop music scene, Sir Tom Jones. The first-class celebration of Sir Tom is accompanied by an outstanding band, playing 2 hours of his iconic hits, including Sex Bomb, Till, Green Green Grass of Home, I Who Have Nothing, Thunderball, Love Me Tonight, It's Not Unusual, and not forgetting Sir Tom's well-known rhythm and blues covers Knock on Wood and Land of a Thousand Dances. Live on stage, you'll witness an award-winning impersonation portrayed by the one and only Mr. Andy Wood. Now, Andy's built up a massive and impressive reputation entertaining Sir Tom's fans around the world for over 35 years. Catch Andy while you can, as this year, Sex Bomb, celebrating the music of Sir Tom Jones, will be jetting off an exciting 2-week tour of Australia. Tickets are now on sale for a fun-filled evening celebrating everything Sir Tom Jones. Go to spapavilion.uk to book yours. Sunday the 26th of January, the Mayor of Ipswich, Councillor Elengo Ella Valakan, will be hosting a burn supper in support of his mayoral charities, Cancer Support Suffolk and Genesis Allwell Mencap. Join the Mayor and Mayoress for this black tie event as they commemorate Robert Burns, address the haggis and give a toast to the lassies. In keeping with tradition, the supper will consist of cockaleekie soup, haggis, neeps and tatties with a whiskey gravy, and delicious dessert of cranachan. A vegetarian option is also available. There'll be a separate cash raffle and all proceeds will go to those Mayor's charities. For your tickets, go to ipswichtheatres.co.uk. Don't forget, you can always get in touch with us via our Facebook page at Ruby Shoes Podcast. We love to hear about your forthcoming plays, your comedy nights, or any kind of entertaining performance you'd like everybody else to know about. Let us know and we can help and support you. Remember, you can also listen again to any of the Ruby Shoes Podcast episodes via Apple and Spotify, or just simply click on the podcast links on our Facebook page and follow us there too for the latest entertainment news. I'm Steph McIntyre. Thanks for listening. We're going to chat more live theatre and all kinds of entertainment next week. In the meantime, check out those socials at Ruby Shoes Podcast. We're on Twitter or X, Facebook and Instagram, and occasionally we'll pop up on TikTok as well, you probably notice. We'd love you to follow us and have a great week.